Hello to everyone joining us live and those who will watch this video later. Today, we dive into one of the most dramatic stories in the Bible, the Battle of Jericho. This narrative not only sheds light on the power of faith and obedience, but also offers profound lessons we can apply in our own lives today. Before we proceed, please like this video to help spread the stories of the Bible to more people, and consider subscribing to our channel, Bible and Stories of Faith. Thank you, and let's get started. The Battle of Jericho. Found in the book of Joshua, chapters 5:13 to 6:27, the story begins with Joshua and the Israelites camped on the plains of Jericho, ready to claim the Promised Land. Jericho was renowned for its formidable walls and was considered an impregnable fortress. However, what follows is a remarkable testament to the power of faith. The city gates of Jericho were securely closed to keep the Israelites out. No one could enter or leave. The Lord said to Joshua, "Look, I have given you Jericho, its king, and its valiant warriors. You and your soldiers will march around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests will carry trumpets of ram's horns in front of the ark. On the 7th day, you will march around the city 7 times, and the priests will blow the trumpets. When they make a long blast with a ram's horn, and you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people shall go up, every man straight before him." Joshua then called the priests and said, "Carry the Ark of the Covenant, and have 7 priests carry trumpets in front of it." And he told the people, "March around the city, with the armed guard going ahead of the Ark of the Lord." Following Joshua's command, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went before the ark, blowing the trumpets continually. The armed men went ahead of them, and the rear guard followed the Ark of the Lord, while the trumpets kept sounding. But Joshua had commanded the people not to shout or make any noise until the day he said to shout. Then Joshua had the Ark of the Covenant carried around the city, circling it once. Then they came back to camp and spent the night there. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests took up the Ark of the Lord. The 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forward, blowing their trumpets, and the armed men went ahead of them, with the rear guard following the Ark of the Lord, while the trumpets sounded continually. On the 2nd day, they marched around the city once and returned to the camp. They did this for 6 days. On the 7th day, they got up at daybreak and marched around the city 7 times in the same manner. Except that on that day, they circled the city 7 times. On the 7th circuit, when the priests sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the army, "Shout! For the Lord has given you the city. The city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab the prostitute and all who are with her in her house shall be spared, because she hid the spies we sent. But keep away from the devoted things, so that you will not bring about your own destruction by taking any of them. Otherwise, you will make the camp of Israel liable to destruction and bring trouble on it. All the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and iron are sacred to the Lord and must go into his treasury." When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So everyone charged straight in, and they took the city. They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep and donkeys. Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out and all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her." So the young men who had done the spying went in and brought out Rahab, her father and mother, her brothers and sisters, and all who belonged to her. They brought out her entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. Then they burned the whole city and everything in it, but they put the silver, gold, bronze and iron into the treasury of the Lord's house. However, Joshua spared Rahab the prostitute, with her family and all who belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent as spies to Jericho, and she lives among the Israelites to this day. At that time, Joshua pronounced this solemn oath. "Cursed before the Lord is the one who undertakes to rebuild the city, Jericho. At the cost of his firstborn son. He will lay its foundations. At the cost of his youngest. He will set up its gates." So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread throughout the land. The significance of obedience and faith. This story serves as a powerful reminder that even the most formidable obstacles can be overcome when we follow God's commands with unshakable faith. The strategy to bring down the walls of Jericho may not have made sense from a military standpoint, but Joshua's obedience to divine orders was rewarded with a miraculous victory. Lessons for modern times. In modern life, we often face walls that seem insurmountable. Personal issues, professional challenges, or health crises can resemble the fortifications of Jericho. The Battle of Jericho teaches us that faith and perseverance, guided by divine wisdom, can lead us to overcome seemingly impossible challenges. Moral of the story. Reflecting on the Battle of Jericho, we are called to consider our own willingness to follow the directions we receive, whether from spiritual leaders, biblical counsels, or our faith-guided conscience. The story challenges us to place our trust in God and move forward, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. I hope this exploration of the Battle of Jericho inspires each of you to face the walls in your lives with renewed courage and faith. And you, how do you tackle the insurmountable challenges in your life? Do you believe in the power of faith as Joshua and the Israelites did? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel for more deep biblical studies. See you next time.